In my previous video, not my latest, I overcomplicated Hello World Roblox Studio, and in that video I actually got a lot of feedback, which by the way, thanks for the feedback. I want a lot of feedback I needed for improvement, and using those suggestions I made a list. Like this time it's actually organized like last time. So first let's make a new experience, a new base plate, and let's start off with the first thing, scripts. And the first thing that appears is print hello world. The most simplest, yeah. But let's make this overcomplicated. So basically make a script, multiple if needed, just so it prints one line of code. First of all, let's start with a variables. Let's call it text. And yeah, but let's make this inverser. Just like last time I used something different. Alright, what I did here, just like the previous video, I created a bunch of variables, each containing each letter, and then combining them into this one hello world. So basically this will print out hello world. If you click play, yeah, there it is, it's perfect. But there's something called the string value you can add, and basically it's like a variable, but it's like a physical variable, I guess. So string value, I can, instead of having these variables as code, I can make them as objects, which is going to be, and now doing this, instead of this we can just do all of this. So let's remove all of this, and then workspace dot. Alright, what I did here, basically I saved all the values in these objects or string variables, used them except for space, and combined all of this, and all of this prints hello, and all of this prints hello world. So yeah, but this is again not very complicated, so let's obviously make this more. Let's first things first save this in one single variable. We're going to do it like local text equals all of this, and this just make it into text. Boom. And this again prints hello world. So basically just save this inside one, and yeah. And then we can also create a function. Alright, and then here end. And what we can do here, so like game.players.playerAdded connect function player, and basically just call this function right here. Yeah, again. But we can also just, alright, so I made this, still pretty simple, but the player joins and basically this function runs. Right here, checks using the typeof if the player's name is a string. By the way, if you're wondering, when a player joins, it saves that player inside in this variable. I can call it whatever I want, like maybe this. It will save it in that variable, but yeah, then the player's character, it gets saved in the char variable that I made. And here's the typeof. Basically, if the player's name is a string, then it runs this function. Let's actually use this typeof everywhere, my previous video. Okay, so what I did here is basically checks if all of the values of the string variables, the objects, these guys, is a string, and then if it is print, this is inside the function print joins, checks all of this, it runs this function, all of this happens, print hello world. This is pretty funny, but we can also make it check if the value is the same. Again, this is from my video, so yeah. Alright, so what I did here is pretty funny. Once it checks the type of variable, it also checks if the variable is that text. So yeah, then it does all of this, which is really funny. But you know how it is inside a function, right? This is inside a function. The functions have something really funny called arguments. So I think you guys know what I'm trying to do here. Alright, so I basically used parameters, arguments, parameters, yeah, and passes all of these values inside these variables, checks them, and does it. So this is really awful, but now it's time for the remote events. So to do that, first things first, let's create a remote event, call it print. Let's create a starter player scripts and add a local script in here, and we're going to do local GetService ReplicatedStorage. Then we're going to do, this is really funny, so Using remote events, this local script using a remote event called prints fires the server, gives all these arguments, saves them, then calls this function, all of these arguments, saves them in this, and all of this happens and it prints hello world. That took me a long time. Now this is already, big, but let's use some RNG. So I renamed the remote event to Prince 901, and what I did here is, so all of this happens, and then it creates a random number between 1 and 901. So basically prints and the number if it hits, basically prints 901. So like if it finds this one, if the number is 901 at the end, then it will fire at the server. Otherwise it won't work. Also I added this print event name so we can look at which one it is, and basically this is going to repeat all until it gets the correct remote event. So if you click play, this is bombarding my PC, but yeah. Look at these attempts over here. If it gets the correct one and prints out hello world, this will stop. All we have to do is just wait. That's a big number right there. Man, just 901 numbers, man, why is it so hard? It takes forever. 101 numbers, man, why is it so hard? This takes forever. There has been over 1500 attempts right now, and it still hasn't found 901. So yeah, we're almost reaching 2000. Boom, 2000 attempts, and finally it found the correct one, 901, after 2047 attempts. That's a lot. Here it is. It got the real one. It printed hello world and it stopped. Phew, this is a lot of code. But let's make this faster because we're not waiting that long for hello world. So this is even faster. Wait, actually no, it's not that fast. We're going to do task wait. So dot task. Alright, this is extremely fast. This is basically gambling over here. Oh, after 2890 attempts, he finally found 901. That's crazy, the chances, man. This is some next level pet simulator. This is how pet simulator works. Okay, but let's make this really fast or something, such as this. Is this any faster? Oh! Okay, after 186 attempts, it found it actually. That's cool. But yeah, now again, we have a problem here, that is, it prints all of this. So all we're going to do is just remove this. I used it for debug purposes, but yeah. So if we hit play, and there's a random chance it prints hello world down there. Oh, it did it, hello world. I can't see how many attempts, but yeah, it worked. So I think I'm done. I mean, I have remote events, checks all of this. It has RNG functions. It's perfect. I definitely overcomplicated hello world. I will leave the code in the description, and guys, give me feedback, please. Also, Jesus is real, so you know what to do before he comes back again. Alright.